Here we go. Brother to RSF Commander Hemeti now uses Kenyan and Emirati passport numbers and ID. Algomi Dagalo Musa Nayala, who leads the paramount arm of the RSF, the Rapid Support Forces in Sudan, was on 19th of February this year put on United States of America's sanction list under the Department of Treasury for leading the efforts to supply weapons to continue the war in Sudan. Apparently, his Kenyan passport number, AK1586127. Mkenya mwenzetu karibuni sana. You remember I aired to you about this concern, and William Ruto denied what Rigathi Gachagua said, that Kenya is indeed directly involved in the massacre in Sudan. Now you don't need any other proof. You can go and check the United States Department of Treasury under the United Nations sanction list. There is a guy by the name Algomi Dagalo who is a brother to Hemeti, the RSF commander who now uses Kenyan passport. We go ahead. The Kenyan Pipeline Company has officially been sold with an IPO projected to reach around 106 billion. And apparently, Ugandan government is now going to claim the second highest stake with 2 board seats in the organization. Rivertex, for your own information, the company that is based in Eldoret that usually was owned, which was before owned by Moi University, has now been leased for 21 years to an Indian businessman called Gagan Gupta, who is the founder of Arise IIP Enterprise. Very nice. I wanted to give you an update also on Galana Kulalu. It's actually a 35-year lease to Aldara Farm, that is United Arab Emirates. Over the weekend, President William Samoei Ruto said that he's going to support the golf sport. Kenyans, you need to dig into the details. Do you know who are the sponsors of the Kenya Open that was held at the Windsor Country Club? There are 2 sponsors. You know, there are Mosa Paint, and then there's a DP World. Do you know DP World? That is one of the largest logistical planning organization in the world that is based where? United Arab Emirates, which was previously headed by a guy who was mentioned in the Epstein file earlier this year. United Arab Emirates. A good number of you are aware of the largest carbon credit project in Kenya and in Africa. And apparently, there is an organization by the name Blue Carbon that is managing the largest carbon credit project in Kenya. Do you know who is the head of that? Ahmed Dalmouk Al Maktoum of the royal family of the United Arab Emirates, an organization that was just only started 2 years ago with no experience of carbon credit management. They are in cahoots with NRT, the National Rangeland Trust, which is managing 39 conservancies in Kenya at the tune of 42,000 square kilometers of land. You see, Kenyans, when the likes of Rigathi Gachagua are seated here telling you this country was sold to the highest bid a long time ago, a good number of you are not believing. A good number of you are saying, we hate 2-term, we don't like William Ruto. Our foreign policy is unrecognizable right now. For your own information, you can go and check. Rigathi Gachagua, I don't like his stand on politics, but he warned us that our government, we invited the RSF leadership to form a parallel government in Nairobi. William Ruto denied. Now, you can go and check the United States sanction list. We have a Kenyan there who goes by the passport name and the passport number AK1586127. We don't know how this passport was given, but this is not just anybody. This is the brother to the RSF commander. Kenyans, you are still seated there thinking that this country is being managed and it is in safe hands of your fellow Kenyan politicians. A lot is happening. A lot is being sold. If you are shocked by this, you need to watch out. Who is going to buy the largest stake in the Kenya Seed Company in the times to come? We know the name already, the GMO guy. But tutaambiwa, Kenya is a democratic country. Kenya, everybody has an open opinion. This is the country where bloggers with no knowledge about politics will be there to tell you, Tuta, Social media influencers with zero understanding on what's happening are busy supporting William Samoei Ruto. That is it. And you are blindly following them, cheering for them. And this is how you get distracted. You know, yesterday was Shah, today was Linda Ground, Linda Mwananchi. Tomorrow is the Vasha rally in Naivasha. And then the day after that, another scandal. Until they will keep you busy across the whole year. And the hula baloo and the cycle continues. Kenyans, tumakinike sana. Kenyans, do you know the reasons why it has become so easy for us to elect the likes of William Samoei Ruto, Adan Duale, and others into the positions of power into this country? The answer remains in one place: religious institution, both the church and the mosque. Kenya 2 years ago, there was a pastor in central Kenya who convinced his followers that he saw the sightings and the image of Holy Mary in his church. Little did the followers knew that the church, the pastor used the projector that he hid in the rooftop, which coincided with the reflection of the sun, and the image was posted into the church walls. Wafuasi wakalia wakasema tumeona Holy Mary. Kinyanjui, Kariuki, of all the places, uliamua kuamini kwamba Holy Mary atakuja Kamakis, pale karibu na Nyamachoma, pale Muhoko, si ndio? Ruiru. Holy Mary hakukuja pale Egypt, hakukuja Italy, hakukuja Ethiopia, aliamua akuje Central, si ndio? This is the reason why it is so easy for the same pastor to convince you to vote for someone like William Samoei Ruto. To our Muslim brothers, you cannot critique any leader from Northern Kenya because of the Wahhabism. You can go and search about it. This is a radical, rigid fundamentalist who cannot allow you to critique leaders. That is why in Northern Kenya, you think when people get married, sometimes you feel like everyone is an Arab. Wamevaa zile thobes za Waarabu. You will even think Muhammad bin Salman amefika nyumbani ama ako Northern Kenya. The names, the drama. A typical lady from Northern Kenya today, she watches nothing short of Turkish drama. Jina ni kama gani ataki. Marashi ambaye unafaa kumnunulia before umoe ni marashi imetoka Saudi Arabia. You know, all this conditioning, guys, is what is making us so easy to elect these kind of people. Because they use the church, they use the mosque and mix it with politics. There are people in this country, I'm not going to mention them, who believe that they are descendants of the Arab tribes. And some of them even, they say, we are descendants of Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him. Ndugu yangu tulikoloniziwa na wewe hapa, tumesikiza rumba na wewe hapa. Sijawahi sikia wazazi wako wameenda huko, wametravel huko kwa Arabu. Who convinced you that you belong to those people? And some of you will not be ready. The moment tutaenda pale Uarabuni, ndugu yangu, you will be given a top level of racism. You will even wonder what is happening. And yes, both of us, both of you and I and that Mwarabu are Muslims. You can never convince Kiprono of African Inland Church of Eldoret that indeed hakuna kitu inaitwa promised land. Huwezi mwambia. Kiprono anaamka asubuhi pale Mulot, pale Mosoriot. Kiprono, what you don't know is ukienda pale Jerusalem leo, ndugu yangu, utafukuzwa vibaya sana. Kiprono apparently is more religious than the custodians of the religion themselves. Ana pray, anafanya libation, ana perform kila kitu. That is the same case with Otieno of Catholic Church from Kisumu. You know, guys, when you are convinced that indeed the stupidity these church and the mosque leaders will give you is the essence of the truth, it becomes so easy for somebody to play with your mind. Sitaki kutaja watu. Wale watu wamepasua suti pale nyuma into two. Munajijua, wale munafagianga barabara na maji pale Nakuru. Why is it that if indeed the guy you are following ni nabii, mbona anatumia ndege akienda Marekani? Why can't he teleport through the clouds? Because those are one of the basic tenets of a prophet. Lakini unaambua pale siku kucha, siku nenda, siku rudi, that huyo ni nabii. This is the same predicament Mackenzie used on Kenyans. Akaua watu wengi. Because of the brainwash. Because the politicians, they know if there is one sanctity they will never take for granted, is how Kenyans are so much fixated to the institution of religion. Mambo ya kufagia barabara munajua. Muslims in this country, they steal from the poor people and they go and spend the best portion of their money in Dubai because they want to appease the image of their enslaver. the Arabs who enslaved us for 1,300 years. The same way with the Russian guy. The same thing he did with the Kenyans there. I'm telling you, it's only that for northern Kenya, haikufanyika. If a Turkish, a Middle Eastern, an Arab guy will appear from the desert of the Jordan, na atoke pale Mandera, Isiolo, Garissa, Wajir, Marsabit, it will be the end of the world for many people and their marriages. But we are not ready for this conversation, you know? We are not ready for this conversation. And that is why we are battling with a sense of colorism. Unataka, ukienda pale northern Kenya, you can never find a dark-skinned person. You know the answers for yourself. The same case, we are always obsessed with wazungus. Wazungu tukiwaona, we don't want to ask them credible questions. Mtu akiona mzungu anaona maisha yake imekuwa alles good, vile Wajerumani wanasema. Kenyans, the moment akina Kiprono, akina Fara, akina, Kinyanjui, you will be told there is nothing like Holy Mary. Uache kudress kama Muhammad bin Salman. Muachane na hizi aesthetics. Muachane na hizi upuzi of you believing that you can always live up to the superiority of the people who started the religion themselves, the custodians, and you pose a picture of becoming even more religious than them. Inafaa kuisha. Kenyans, the moment we are going to understand this, the better for us. And the better for us to elect credible leaders. But as far as this is continuing, na inaendelea ndugu yangu, hakuna siku we are going to be free from the religious institutions and when it comes to electing credible leaders. Najua itauma wengi lakini that is it. Wakenya tuzidi kumakinika.